The thing to remember about Ink Master is that it's a television show. It is a show. And, you know, everybody is, you know, real in the sense that, like, we're really competing and we're really doing these challenges, and, you know, there's a lot of pressure because you're put into pressure situations, you know. But that's, I mean, it's a show, it's not tattooing, right?
Did you read, I mean, being on television, you're gonna get a lot of comments and critiques from people outside the tattoo industry who have no idea who you are. They don't care about you as a person whatsoever. Did you, how much, not value, but did you read negative comments? I mean, like, did you,
yeah.
How do you deal with the negativity that comes from being on television?
So, I do have to say that, like, I expected blowback because of, you know, speaking your mind, and because the show that the episode or the season that I was on, like, the girls, like, we all kind of stuck together, and there was a lot of, like, kind of.
Who else was on the season that you were on?
Kelly Doty, Ryan Ashley, who ended up winning that season, and Nikki Simpson. And we had kind of created this alliance and stuff. And so, like, I was, you know, as it was airing, we were expecting kind of negative comments here and there. What I was not expecting was the amount of general disdain and hate towards women. In general, like, I actually learned how to tighten my social media security at that point in time, and it was actually Dave Navarro texted me and was like, you guys don't know how to do this, you need to tighten this, this, and this. I received physical threats. I received rape threats. I was actually blown away by just it was just like straight up hate, and it had nothing to do with me as a person or my tattooing. It had nothing to do with anything. Like, it was just the fact that I was there. Like, I was just whatever. So nowadays, that just doesn't happen. I don't get it nearly as much unless I post something
a bunch of
opinionated
comments and threats from a bunch of mouth-breathing morons who don't know you as a person.
The internet is a wild place, but I generally enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie, like, when people say horrible, nasty things and you read it, it affects you. It hurts. I'm a human being, you know. If someone, you know, says my tattoo looks like shit, or they say something personally about me, even though they don't know me, you know, like, you're a fucking bitch. Like, I'm like, oh man, like.
That's the thing that sucks about the internet.
It does.
People's willingness to say shit to somebody that they would never say to your face.
Exactly. Or maybe they would. I don't know. But
if they say it to your face, they're wrong.
But then I don't. Like, I don't. You know. And I think the hardest thing is that in order to not hurt myself, I cannot engage. That's the biggest rule: is no engagement.
You're almost better off not reading it.
Right, but sometimes you can't help but read it. So I don't read it. You know that there's that shirt going around, don't read the comments. Mm-hmm. Like, hashtag don't read the comments, don't read them. But because I have a lot of followers, I do have a responsibility to monitor my feeds. So it's like, I do monitor them, and I'll block and delete people who are harassing other people or just saying ignorant stuff, or I just, you know, I'm
assuming that the comments have died down since you've stepped back from the show.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I still get them occasionally here and there. Like, as soon as the show starts airing in a new country, or like they start airing reruns, then I get like a barrage of followers and negativity that's a little outdated. But for the majority, I get a lot of positivity. Like, I'm really lucky to have, like, my clients and my general, like, I guess, little fan base are all really super positive ladies and men. Like, the cool thing about Instagram is being able to see, like, I can see my followers and my content and where people are. But I think it's just like sometimes I see tattooers engaging in these debates or like posting these rants and stuff, and it's like, you're just so much better off like staying silent. And the reason why is because you are always going to be taken out of context. And I understand how difficult that is, because I am very opinionated, and sometimes I have to make that choice of like, this is so important to me, I'm gonna say something because it's that important to me. But otherwise, a lot of the time, it's like, having to be silent because
we stay out of the conversations a lot of times. And I know Gunnar recently has started to.
I watch Gunnar very
his
closely.
opinion, and I know he sometimes makes a post saying this is just my opinion.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, people still get into arguments on it.
Because it's because when you put that out there, it's that invitation. Like it's, like we're no longer allowed the luxury of our pages being our stage without feedback. I mean, there's the feature of dismantling comments, but then you are just making a statement in the dark, and that's the way it is. Like I recently have had like a lot of conflict about some political issues that I want to post about, and like the rhetoric is like, that should be saved for your personal page because this is, at a certain point, like my social media is my business, and I'm like, but that is my personal page. Like there's no separation. Like I'm not a product, but I am my brand, you know what I mean? Like it is me, but, so you just have to be thoughtful about it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of artists have personal pages. And I follow both of them. I follow both the personal page and the artist because I like the artist as a person. And if you post something, you're gonna, regardless of what you post, whether it's, you're gonna piss somebody off. And the last thing you want to do is lose potential clients.
Yeah, and alienate people.
You have your opinion, regardless of what their opinion is.
Right.
Nobody ever agrees. So you were on Ink Master with Kelly, Ryan, and Nikki, and after the show was finished, they developed Ink Master Angels, where you ladies traveled around the shops and competed with other artists.
Yep.
Can you talk? But you stepped away from the show. Can you talk about why you stepped away from the show?
Yeah. So filming, one of the aspects of filming a show, especially on the road, that a lot of people don't know about is that it's incredibly intense. Like it is, filming in general, like the production crews, they work they work so hard. It's literally flying to a city, filming 3 days, packing up, flying to the next city, and then half the film crew drives. And everything is done, editing, everything on the road, casting, everything on the road. And so, and it's over the course of 3 months. Like it is intense. Like people who do Ink Master go to a set. And that they live in confined. This is literally like on the road, and it's insanity. Unfortunately, because of my cancer and the treatments that I had, I developed lymphedema, and like I said, it puts a lot of pressure on my sciatic nerve. And so after 5 episodes of filming, I was in so much pain, and my lymphedema got a little bit out of control. And it got to the point where my doctors did a no-fly, like I couldn't fly anymore. So it's a travel show, and that was just it. Yep.
There's a lot of artists that go onto that show who are well-established artists prior to going on.
To Angels?
No, Ink Master.
Ink Master, yeah.
Josh Payne. Josh Payne was just on last year.
Yeah.
Juan Saldago.
Yep.
I always pronounce his name incorrectly. How much did the show help you in regards to exposure to new clients, since you were already a well-known, pre-established artist prior?
So when I went on to Ink Master, I was already booked a year, and my books were closed. So it was hard to kind of establish after I got off the show and it aired. I do have to say that as far as my bookings go, I don't feel like it impacted my bookings. It didn't help me as far as like that. It's kind of a split thing because it's like my work got out there, and that I guess in turn brought me more exposure. But as far as the people who actually get tattooed by me are not fans from the show. Does that make sense?
No,
so I would say that ultimately, yeah, the people who get tattooed by me are not from the show. My exposure like maybe got, out there more, but all my clients, like half of them, I would say, I guess I would say like almost all of them have either never seen the show or don't watch the show. They just, it's Instagram.
I always take it from the perspective of if there's an artist that I love and I follow, if they go on the show, that's cool. If it helps their business, that's cool. I'm not a fan of this show. I don't ever watch it. But if it helps them progress their career and helps them expose to more clients, goes for them.
You know, it's interesting because like when I was first asked about being on the show, like the TV world is just such a mystery, and that's the thing, is that it's television, and I don't think that a lot of people who go into it really understand like what that means or what that is, and I definitely didn't. And I do have to say that like up until I went on the show, I caught an episode here and there, but I've never watched the show, and so I didn't even really understand what it was, and going into it, I think like I said, I tried to have like no expectations and just be open to the experience. And it was a very good experience as far as like, it was like summer camp with a bunch of tattooers. And I learned a lot about tattooing. And I think that in our industry, it tends to be a little isolating, and you can kind of end up being, you know, on your own a little bit, and because it's such a solitary thing to do, and it was such a unique and cool experience to just be doing this collaboratively with a lot of people, and you're all in the same boat together. But at the end of the day, like it genuinely is television, and I think your career is what you make of it regardless.